Hello, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for coming today. We really appreciate it. Today, Hillel, the BSc, MSA, OLOS, and other groups stand against Nazism and more broadly, white terror. We stand here on the 80th anniversary of the pogrom that offset the Holocaust to demonstrate solidarity and unity in the face of hatred. This semester, the Jewish community at Davidson has weathered hit after hit, starting with the shooting at Pittsburgh and leading us here. We feel beleaguered, we feel existentially threatened, but we also recognize that anti-Semitism acts as an existential threat to every person of color, every queer person, every non-normative person on this campus. We look to our peers, we look to our professors, we look to our community now to stand with us and look among us, to root out hatred that is not only coming to pass nationally, but born and bred here at Davidson. These students and their sympathizers are here amongst us, and we, the Jewish community, ask you, in solidarity with our comrades from other organizations, to act and think critically, and to act and think with empathy.
Jewish problems are Black problems, they are Latinx problems, they are Muslim problems. We are fighting the same fight, and now it's time to act like it. When Black issues are solved, Jewish issues are solved. A Black radical framework is the framework we need to recognize, adopt, and act upon. I refer to it specifically as white terror, also known as white rage, because this is a specific method and means by which hate is being conducted through anti-Semitism, racism, Islamophobia towards non-straight, non-Christian, non-white populations. We see what it looks like, a mass shooting in Pittsburgh, mass shootings at a church in Charleston, South Carolina. It's the same image occurring time and time again. It's radical extremism, it's whiteness, it's happening all over our country, it's happening on Davidson College's campus. White terror is manifested in neo-Nazism. It's manifested in white nationalism. White terror in and of itself is fear, the fear that the hatred and threats towards communities of color might be actualized. White terror is a movement that feels empowered in this country, a movement that has been reaffirmed from the top and makes its way onto college campuses. We as a country have elected officials that have time and time again failed to decry acts of violence by white nationalists as terrorism, breeding a despicable culture built on white supremacy. In addition to the spike of instances of overt hate towards marginalized groups, it is important to mention the subtle, covert manifestations of hatred. These manifestations are insidious and have tainted the spirit of campus for far too long. Today, as Black and brown women have said before us, we are sick and tired of being sick and tired. In the past 24 hours or so, we have heard people say that their Davidson bubbles have burst. As various members of marginalized groups, we never got the chance to be part of that bubble. In gathering here today, we would like this moment to aggressively restart efforts to make change on this campus. We want to revive the motives of Project 87 and show a unified solidarity towards all marginalized groups on campus. I encourage impacted students after this to write their sentiments on this board over here. How do you feel and what do you want to see happen? Again, I appreciate all of your faces in this space today. Just to conclude, this is sick. What's happening is sick, not just isolated on this Davidson College campus. It's everywhere throughout this country. I do not want to see it anymore on this campus. I do not want to see it anymore of this country. Let's fix it. Let's start today. Let's do it.
And to echo the sentiments of the two comrades who spoke before me, anti-Semitism doesn't just affect the Jewish community. As I think we all know, oppression is linked. Thank
you, Bree. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I'm reading a quote from Francis Fanon's seminal work, Black Skin, White Mass. At first glance, it seems strange that the attitude of the anti-Semite can be equated with that of the Negrophobe. It was my philosophy teacher from the Antilles who reminded me one day, when you hear someone insulting the Jews, pay attention. He is talking about you. I want to reiterate things that have been said already as well. We are operating from a Black radical framework, acknowledging the universality of anti-Blackness. When Black people are free, we will all be free. You are included in this. If you would like to participate, we will be at the BSc once again today after this. Come, as co-conspirators, as people who are truly down for the movement, who recognize the vulnerability of the brown and black communities around you, who are willing to put aside their privilege, their sensitivity, and the fragility to show up as a Davidson community, for the groups who are hurting, for the people, for your peers. If you're ready to do that, we're ready to have you.
So before I begin, I really want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. This is very powerful to me. This is the first time, I'm a sophomore by the way, my name is Davidson. This is the first time I've seen so many different groups of people coming together to really stand for something. And that means a lot to me. I think that there is a lot of power in numbers. And I think that what we're seeing today is finally a coalition of a bunch of minority groups saying that we are tired and we're not going to sit around and do nothing. I had a lot of skepticism about this when I started because I felt like this event was going to be a repeat of what always happens, where something big happens and we talk about it and then a week later it gets forgotten. And then it kind of just dies down and people goes back to their normal lives. And I really feel like that's not going to happen right now. And the reason why is because we're able to do stuff like this. This happened in a day. This happened in a night. This shows the power that we have, that we were able to organize all of this in one night. And I really want to reiterate that as a member of the Muslim Student Association and the South Asian Student Association, that we support the Black Student Coalition's Project 87. We support this wholeheartedly because we believe that together there's just so much more strength in numbers, and that by supporting this one cause, we support all of our causes. So that's all I'd like to say. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for showing support.
Hello, my name is Cameron Anderson. I'm a junior here. I live off campus. Like many of you, I found out about these incidents, specifically the tweets on Wednesday night. But something that really stuck with me that I felt compared to share is that night at around 11:30 when I'm walking home. I live off campus and it's cold and rainy and it's windy. The cars that drove by me like they do every single time, I was scared for the first time at Davidson. I didn't know who was here and who was around me. And these people that used to be my peers and my friends, everyone was a potential threat. I was alone thinking about one closeted neo-Nazi on campus. And then I got almost embarrassed thinking about the pictures she posted or allegedly posted from the time in which the Klan was at its height. And people look like me and my ancestors had to walk home in fear every single day. And these weren't anonymous people. These were people proud of what they were doing. And then I got angry because I know one of the students, not personally, but I knew since last year, one of the students had been at the Charlottesville riot and had been removed from his PCC organization and had been protected and just hidden, and that had been silenced at this school. And I was shocked that half of the students I spoke to didn't know that someone here had been to the Unite the Right rallies in Charlottesville last year. There was a student at BC who went to the same riots, and he had to leave BC because he felt ostracized by his peers and teachers, and half of the students here, like parents here, people didn't know that, and that made me really uncomfortable. So thank you all for being here. It means a lot. It makes me feel a lot safer and comfortable. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for coming, and I just want to bring this back together, and the same tools that are used to fight anti-Semitism are used to fight racism. We can share this, we can share our knowledge, we can share our effort, we can share our power, we can share our energy. Black people, Jewish students, Latinx community, MSA, Muslim students on this campus, everybody combined is one to do it. I'm going to encourage everybody before they leave to drop a note on the board over here. Hopefully we run out of room, we got to get more paper, because this is how we're going to collectivize. So this is us voicing our opinions, but now how do we feel and what do we want to see happen to make us feel better? This is your opportunity to write that, and we can aggregate all this information. We can come together to create effective and cohesive policy to solve all the issues that we're clearly so frustrated about on this campus. So please do participate in that. And again, I appreciate everyone being here. And Bree, you got this. You got this, I trust.
So I don't know how many people are aware But in the history of my ancestors, Black, brown, and indigenous folk, we rise up and we revolutionize through song and chant and music, and we haven't had none of that today. So if y'all can repeat after me, we're gonna rock it like that, okay? It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
So as we go away from this day, definitely reach out to the people who have organized this event today, make demands, hold people accountable. Going forward, as we continue to revise and resurrect Project 87, we need to keep our foot on the administration's neck, because if we don't, they say they don't hear us. And we have their ear right now, and it's important that we keep that ear, and that we build coalitions, and that we uphold the people doing this work. Because often movements are broken because people are divided and isolated. And like people have said, I don't think Davidson has never seen nothing like this before. And as long as we keep working together, alumni, D-Band, BSC, OLAS, and all of these wonderful groups of marginalized folk, they can't stop us. As long as we stand together, they can't stop us. The revolution don't stop. And I won't stop as long as y'all won't stop. Much love, peace, and power. We'll be at the BSC after this. This was dope.